You're listening to Off the Vine with Kaitlyn Bristowe.
Hey, Vinos, real quick, if you are listening right now, which obviously you are or you wouldn't be hearing this, can you hit the subscribe or follow button on whatever platform you're on? Please. That one simple thing helps more than you even realize. It allows me to keep growing on this podcast and making these episodes the best they can possibly be, obviously for you. That's the only favor I'm going to ever ask, okay? It truly means the world to me. Thank you. Now let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome to Off the Vine Podcast. I am Kaitlyn Bristowe, and today's guest is someone that you definitely know, one from Dancing with the Stars' recent season, but maybe you didn't even realize how much she shaped the late 90s for our culture. Elaine Hendrix is an actress and dancer whose career spans decades from The Parent Trap to television, activism, most recently Dancing with the Stars, and her journey to acting wasn't planned. She got in a horrible car accident, which pivoted her whole life. She kind of rebuilt her path from the ground up and had a pretty iconic career throughout her 20s into now her 50s. So today we talk about the pivot, The Parent Trap becoming an iconic moment, returning to dancing decades later on Dancing with the Stars, and what reinvention actually looks like when things don't go according to plan. So here is Elaine. When Dancing with the Stars first comes out, I can't watch because I get too
anxious.
Yes. Like all the things. I get anxious, I get emotional, I get like fired up, I get like all these nostalgic feelings come back, PTSD comes back. And so I always go, okay, I'm just going to watch the show, or I'm going to watch the dances the next day because otherwise I don't sleep at night. So I'm like, this is cool because I actually didn't get to know your story very well, like through each episode. I would always just watch your dances the next day.
Yeah.
And then towards the end I was watching, but so I was like, yay, because when I was doing all this research and putting these questions, I was like, I love your full circle moment of dance.
Thanks.
It doesn't even matter if you won or not.
Yeah, no, well, you know it well.
Yeah.
Like every single week I was like, oh, I'm for sure going home.
Did you really think that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did because...
Well, I guess so because I knew like every week all the dancers would be like, Kaitlyn, you're getting so many votes. But every week I still was like, I'm going home. So I get that because it's just the nerves.
It's the nerves. It's the also like I did not have... Especially at the end, like I did not have the following, even half of the following that everyone else did. But people were like, well, but you know, Elaine, a lot of people championing Elaine isn't on social media.
Yes.
Or, you know, might not be on TikTok, which was like, is the mecca apparently.
Yeah.
So I just... Every week I just knew for sure I was going home, and then I didn't. And I was so grateful because I don't want to say I didn't think I didn't win, that I wasn't going to win, because for me, I didn't really focus it in that way.
Yeah.
For me, I was like, I want to go as far as I can because I wanted to do all the dances.
Yes.
You know, I wanted to make it to the end so that I could do the entire experience.
I get that.
And then there was a couple of times that I was like, could I win? Like, maybe, I don't know. And then by the end, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm for sure not winning. But I'm so grateful to be in the finale. And
you
that
made
was
it
my
as far
goal.
as you could
I
go.
did.
Like you made it as far as the winner goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was so excited because I love watching people who improve. I feel like you improved so much. And just the grit and the comeback and the, you know, I can relate to rib injuries, not as severe as yours, but from, I think it was week 4, I did some lift with the Argentine tango and like I tore a muscle under my rib.
Yeah.
And for the entire rest of the season, I couldn't breathe. Like I couldn't even take a full breath because my ribs were so sore. And you had a full rib injury and like couldn't even dance. You had to miss an episode.
With the freaking Argentine tango.
With the Argentine tango.
But because that's the dance to do it. And when you're like twisting and being thrown around.
Yes.
And Alan was so, which I loved, but he's like so intense. And
So
like,
intense.
I told him, I said, let's go for
Yeah.
it. And we went for it all right.
Yeah, you went for a little too hard.
Yeah.
Cracked some ribs. Oh my gosh, but how amazing to come back and be able to still dance after that.
Well, that was one of those moments. I'm for sure going home.
Yeah.
It was really after that.
Because he had to.
Because I was in the hospital and they showed our rehearsal. And thank goodness, because the way that I operate, like I did all of our camera blocking
Yeah.
and rehearsals, and it was at do you remember the tempo check? Did
Yes.
y'all have that? Okay,
Yeah.
so the tempo check is when like you do it with the actual band and you're making sure the music.
Sorry, no, I know what that is, but we didn't do it because I had COVID, so we didn't have a band.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
I know what you're saying.
Okay,
yes.
yeah. So that's what we were doing. We were doing the tempo check, and my rib just like it was out. But my point is that each time I did it full out.
Yeah.
Because I would have. To me, I was like envisioning what it was going to be like because I like to be prepared. I'm an actress. I rehearse. You know, I rehearse and rehearse and rehearse. I started as a dancer.
Yes.
You know, you rehearse, you rehearse, you rehearse. And so I used every opportunity to be like, this is what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
So that's why they could use which is the rule of the show, they use our last rehearsal footage,
Yep.
which they did. And it wasn't what the full, thing was going to be, but it was pretty darn close.
Well, so I don't know if people know that at home they maybe do now, but the fact that the rehearsal is fully recorded and you go for it and Artem got mad at me once because I kind of gave up in one of my rehearsals because of pain and because I was like, oh, it's just a rehearsal. And he was like, you can't do that because if you don't dance tonight, that's the footage they're going to watch. And I was like, well, somebody should have told me that to start with. But that's just a good lesson to always go full out. But it was like an immediate thing for you, Like, you probably still suffer from it.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was undeniable because I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
It literally felt like my rib twisted under itself and like it was caught. And I was just like, I was literally, if somebody could just untwist my rib, muscle, I'd be okay. And it wasn't that simple.
Yeah, no.
And I was negotiating, I was begging, I was pleading, like, don't take me to the hospital. Just get me to the dance tonight. I'm fine. I was so not fine.
It's funny what we tell ourselves.
Oh, God.
Because when you're in that competition, you are in it.
In it.
Yes.
Full on, in a bubble. It's I stopped my whole rest of my life to have that experience entirely.
Yeah, you have to. That's I think a lot of people don't understand just how much of a commitment it is if you have other things going on. I was lucky it was COVID. I had my podcast that I had to do, and that alone was hard enough to just keep up with my podcast while dancing.
Yeah,
and
I can't imagine.
You have to fully surrender to the whole process because it's long days, no days off, and you get really in it, and you get very it's so competitive, but on a level that people can't understand because it's so also friendly competition that you're like, these are my family, like this is my family, these are my friends, and you're like rooting for everyone else so hard, but you're like, but also I want to go as far as I can. Yeah, it's confusing.
It's so confusing. And there would be times that I would go to Alan and I'd be like, I don't think so-and-so likes me, and I don't think, what is happening, and I don't feel good. And he's like, oh, babe, it's just everybody's so competitive. It's not personal. And I'm like, but it feels so personal.
It does feel personal. Again, maybe a benefit to the COVID season because we couldn't really get close with one another. So I still felt that way because when we'd all get to the ballroom, we're not in the studio space together. We're not seeing each other in the hallways and eating in the snack room. We just see each other in the ballroom, and then we're like, you're my competition. And then it was a crazy season, but this was an iconic season.
It really was.
It blew up and I do think they're smart, right? They changed to Disney Plus. That was a whole thing that people were upset about. But really, I'm like, that's smart because you still have your loyal watchers that will always find a way to watch it. And now you're bringing in a whole Gen Z TikTok era of people that, but you also probably have that fan base. Maybe not, you don't see it in the numbers of your following, but everybody knows you from The Parent Trap.
Yes, and cool. That's wild to me because that's not what we set out to make.
Right.
That's not we're going to make this iconic, multi-generational film. That's not, we just were there doing this incredible movie and having this beautiful experience. And then it's become what it's become.
I wonder, what do you think it is? What is that magic sauce that makes that movie so, it's the same thing with Mean Girls, the Mean Girls effect. Everyone quotes it. Everyone still quotes you. They do TikToks. They dress as Meredith for Halloween. It's a whole thing.
Because I'm very lucky in that I've done a lot of iconic projects in my life, starting with Romy and Michelle's high school reunion and then Superstar. But actually, my very first series even was the reboot of Get Smart, which was, a television classic. And then I've been a part of the Munsters franchise, and I've done 7 movies for Disney. And again, it's not something that you set out to do. And could I, in hindsight, could I talk about it and could I identify it? And yeah, but also it's some of it is just the nature of like luck of the business.
Yeah.
And as generations go and being in the zeitgeist, that's to me why like now it was such the right time to do Dancing with the Stars, because they had asked me to do it before.
Oh, okay.
And it just didn't feel right. And now like nostalgia is so popular that I was like, oh, this is my jam.
Wow. Okay, so I've had my fair share of international travel fails. One sticks out. I was heading back to Canada to see family, landed, and no internet, like nothing, and definitely no way to scroll while waiting in line at customs, even though I'm not sure you're supposed to do that. Anyways, I was basically lost, disconnected, and it was the worst. Here's the thing, this wouldn't have happened if I had packed the internet with Airalo. Your phone probably already supports eSIMs, and that's where Airalo comes in. Before you leave, you just download the app, pick your destination eSIM, choose your plan length and data amount, install it, and boom, you're connected the second you land. So no sketchy public Wi-Fi, no surprise roaming fees, no kiosks in the airport that feel like a trap. You just pay for the data that you need, and then you can top it up anytime. So whether it's streaming playlists, scrolling, texting, navigating, or video calling home, Airalo keeps you connected without your phone bill exploding. They work in over 200 destinations and are trusted by more than 20 million travelers. And honestly, I just wish I knew about them sooner. So do what I do. And if you've got an international trip coming up, download the Airalo app now or visit airalo.com. That's AIRALO.com and use code VINE for 15% off your first eSIM. Terms apply. You were like in a model search or something, and then you were into dancing. Like dancing was going to be your career.
Yeah, so dancing was it for me.
Yeah.
And then I won this model search, and then it was like, oh, okay. Well, so it was sort of like modeling was like for fun, and I could make money to feed my dance obsession.
Yeah.
And I had a contract to go to Japan and Italy and travel the world, doing these things, but I never cared about modeling. And I'm in this weird place, like I'm tall, but I'm actually not model tall. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I just feel like I kind of always slot like right. I'm not an extreme of one thing or another, which I think has lent to my longevity as an actress. I've been able to do a lot and transform into a lot of different things. And so, modeling wasn't it. Dance was. Yeah. Then I was hit by a car.
Yes,
and that changed.
Wild.
And do you know that it happened literally like 2 blocks from where the rehearsal studio is?
So how severe were these injuries? Because did it like take out your dance career?
Oh yeah, it took it. Like I spent the better part of 8 months in physical therapy, and then the very first dance class I went back to, after being hit and after going through physical therapy, I had to go get a cortisone shot just to be able to walk.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm lucky in that, like, it never, like, it wasn't, obviously, I am able to walk. Right. I am able to dance. I am able to move. But it completely changed. I'm in constant pain. I've just learned to live with the pain for decades. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And all through Dancing with the Stars, I was in immense pain. Didn't care.
Yeah.
I spent as much time on recovery as I did in rehearsals.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old were you when you got in that car accident?
21.
21.
I had just turned 21.
Isn't it so, like, the way that life works is so bizarre when you look back on it. Like, now you can not that you're like, oh, I'm glad that happened to me, but it changes the whole trajectory of like what your life looks like.
Yeah.
And like I just find it so crazy that you get in this car accident. 8 months of rehab is no joke. That's like a pretty serious car accident.
Yeah. But I do want to say, like, because people say a car accident, let's keep in mind, I was not in a car. It was my body that got hit. So it wasn't like a car. I was actually hit by a car while I was riding a bicycle. So I always am like, oh, no, let's like make this
you
real
weren't
clear.
Like buckled in a seatbelt, like
no.
in a protective layer of car. You were on a bike.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But it is, to your point.
It pivots everything.
It does. It's very sliding doors.
Yeah.
It's very sliding doors.
Because wasn't it like what age were you when you got Parent Trap?
26.
26.
Yeah.
So when you auditioned for the Parent Trap, I have so many questions, but I'm trying to like, okay, when you auditioned for The Parent Trap, was it like a crazy cutthroat experience, or were you like, this is the role I don't know how auditions work in like that acting world. So was there a role you got pitched for, the role of Meredith, and you went in and then you got it? Like, how did that come to be?
Yeah, I mean, at that time, so I got my first series when I was, I think I was 24 when I did Get Smart.
Yeah.
And then I was like 25 when I did Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. And then I also I was part of the Munsters franchise. I played Marilyn Munster. And I was just working all the time. But for some reason, and this just happens, there's a lot of actresses in Hollywood. And I was living in Los Angeles at that time, doing the whole, like, whenever auditions come up, go in, do the deal. But they told me later, Charles Shire, one of the writer-producers, and Nancy Myers, the writer-director, her husband at that time, he said to me, he goes, you were like the 433rd actress we saw. And I was like, excuse me, what?
Oh, wow.
And he's like, yeah, we didn't think we would be able to find her. And then you came in and you were her instantly. I was like, that is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs to me.
That is, but how cool, because I remember, so I did like 2 auditions for a commercial because my girlfriend like was an agent in Vancouver, and she was like, you should go in, and I had no idea what the heck I was doing. And she goes, just trust me, they probably already know what they want.
Yeah.
Or they have no idea, and someone will come in and they'll know.
Yes.
So that makes a lot of sense.
Yes, it's definitely one or the other. Like, you either go in and be very specific, like you're in, nope, we know what we want, or they're like, oh, there it is.
Right.
It's very true.
And from being in such a severe accident, your identity is probably tied to your, your body, your movement, everything and you have to be on hold for so long. So you probably had, you tell me, fear of a whole career being ended. And then you come out of it, I mean, you're young, but you come out of such intense rehabilitation and go back into acting and then land all these dream roles.
Yeah. But yes, and I was so naive, which I think lent to my early success.
Yeah.
I didn't know what any of it meant.
Yeah.
I was from a small town in Tennessee, then moved to Atlanta, went to high school, and then my mom, who worked in higher education, who had her master's degree, worked in higher education for decades, said to me, I don't think you should go to college. I don't think you should have a backup plan. You're so clear on what you want to do. You need to dance when you're young. Go do it, and go do it to the fullest. You can always get a job. You can always go back to school.
I love that.
I was really, really lucky because most people's parents are not that way.
No.
And I knew that I just went for it. And so in any iteration, I just saw opportunity and I went for it. I didn't try to piece it all together because I didn't know to do that.
Yeah.
I didn't have somebody in Hollywood like, oh, well, here's how you do it, Elaine. And here, let me open some doors for you. I busted my ass. And not to say that I've done it alone. I haven't. I have amazing people who have supported me along the way, but it's been me who has done it.
That's really impressive. And I think, there is something so sweet about being naive and going into that world, because I always think about it like I was so naive going into reality TV, and thank God I was, because I wouldn't have been myself. I wouldn't have been able to show up as Kaitlyn if I knew behind the scenes what was actually going on. I would have been so in my head, and I would have changed the way I behaved. And now it's almost like I don't know if I could do another reality show, because I'd be so aware of what's going on behind the scenes that I'd be like, oh, get away. Like, what are you doing? You're manipulating what I'm saying right now. Like,
I understand that.
Yeah, but that's so, I mean, such a career in your 20s, where I was just a degenerate in my 20s. Like, I didn't have anything going for myself till my 30s, which is totally fine. People can not have stuff going for themselves till their 50s if they're, it's not saying it matters. It's just so cool that you had such an iconic career through your 20s. And now you get to still just like live off these dreams and have so much fun and still be doing what you're doing. Yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I feel very grateful. I've worked my ass off, and that's not to say, like, I think people like kind of conceptually understand how hard Hollywood is. Yeah, but then, let's make a microcosm of it. Dancing with the Stars. You know, it's our job when you go out on the dance floor to make it beautiful and look effortless and all this. But the amount of hours and injuries and mental gymnastics and all this that goes into that minute 20, you know, or minute 7, like how much pours into that. And that's like such a microcosm of the macrocosm that's been my career. It's been so freaking hard.
I know you're like, you probably want, I always think about the Dancing with the Stars, what people don't see. And I'm like, that in itself is its own reality show.
Yes.
But then it would ruin the magic of the joy of the show that it is. So it's like, it's the same thing with social media. I always try and navigate being authentic on social media with, like, sometimes I'll talk about bad moments or cry or like, but I don't want to seem performative. But then I'm like, but it's always such a highlight reel. And it's like, what do people want to see? Do they want to see the crazy, like bad and the scary behind the scenes that you're like, you wouldn't believe this? Or do they just want the magic because that's kind of why the world loves nostalgia right now?
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know. I'm take solace in that you're asking that too, because especially, you know, I often wonder like what it would have been like to be doing something like Romy Michelle or the Parent Trap. You know, if social media, we didn't have social media at that time.
Yeah, but you had nasty magazines.
We had nasty magazines. But even still, like that doesn't have the touch, that doesn't have the reach that social media does. Yeah. And you can control your own narrative. To your point, you can control your narrative. It's just, what is that narrative?
Exactly.
So I certainly don't know. I mean, millennials, Gen Zs, they always come up to me. And I really have millennials to thank for Meredith Blake being so beloved now, you know. But I don't like, guys, like, what do you want? I don't know. What do you want? What do you want to see?
It is, it's a good question to ask. We could ask people, they can leave a comment in the YouTube if they're watching. I sound so old, the YouTube. But I feel like, I always think about Sammy from Days of Our Lives. She was such a hated character, like mean girl on the show. But like she's playing that character, right? But I remember her saying that people would like yell at her on the street or say something like, "You're such a bitch, Sammy." And she's like, "I'm not Sammy." Like, that's my character on Days of Our Lives. Did you ever have any experience with people being like even me, if I saw Sammy, I'd be like, well, I just think of her as Sammy. Like, do people come up to you and be like, I have a hard time liking you because you're Meredith?
No, but they will come up to me and they'll be like, "Oh, you're such a good bitch." And I'm like,
that means you're a good actress.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
But now again, because of the millennials, people are like, "Oh, Meredith, I love Meredith." And now people are like, "No, I was always on your side." I'm like, "Sure you were."
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Wait, do you feel like she was layered and people misunderstand something about Meredith? What do people misunderstand about her?
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, as an actress, you always have to justify your character's behavior. Yeah. Meredith had bad behavior. Everyone in that movie had bad behavior.
True. True.
Everyone had a big secret. It's just, we saw Meredith play out in real time. But when you dissect that movie too much, it's like, that is crazy to give up your kids and separate them and never see each other. What?
Yeah, who's the villain now?
Exactly.
That's funny. And how impressive is it that Lindsay Lohan could play two people?
And that was her first movie. Imagine that being your first movie, having
really
to play
impressive.
two entirely different people. You know, this past summer, I was a co-producer on an off-Broadway play called Ginger Twinsies.
Cool.
And it was a parody of The Parent Trap. And it just, everything that is wrong with that movie, this parody hung a lantern on.
Hilarious.
But it was so, like, people just don't care.
Yeah.
It's like, it is so beloved. And that's, you know, we could sit here and dissect the reasons why and whatnot, but I'd rather just go with, like, you know what? It is what it is.
It really is.
I'm so grateful to be a part of it.
I watch it every year, and every time it brings me joy. Like, it's just, it is that nostalgic feeling. But you also had a cameo in Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan, which is so cool. Yeah. Had you reconnected before that, or was that like you hadn't seen her?
No, I hadn't seen it because she lives in Dubai.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and she was, you know, people are like, well, did you stay in touch with Lindsay? And I'm like, well, Lindsay was a little girl.
She is,
you know, so no, I had no reason to stay in touch with her. But and our paths hadn't even crossed in all that time. But then we got together on the set, and it's just because Parent Trap was such a big experience and such a big memory that we came back together, and it was kind of like no time had really passed. And like we're reminiscing and then we're catching up. And now we definitely stay in touch.
Oh, that's
it's
great.
very sweet.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, she was just a little girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like people just want stories about Lindsay when they, that's usually, but you stayed in touch with my like man crush. I haven't really ever talked about Dennis Quaid as my man crush, but he always was.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Like he was like the hot dad. Like that's.
Well, yeah, he was.
Yeah. And I just loved your friend Lisa Ann Walter, her support for you. Oh my God. And she made me cry every time I saw her crying.
So I said through the show that Alan was my show security blanket and Lisa is my life security blanket. And there was a time, like there was towards maybe the quarterfinals or at some point around there, I was like, can you stop crying and like get people chanting my name or something? And she's like, no, I can't help it. I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, great, but get people chanting. Please. Like,
do both.
But yeah, exactly.
Do both. Had you watched previous seasons? Like, did you have an ideal partner in mind for who you wanted?
Yes, I did watch the show. Tom Bergeron, the original host, is a dear friend of mine.
Oh, he's so lovely.
So lovely. Yeah. And so back in the day, I would actually go to the shows live.
Oh, cool.
To see him, and then we'd go to dinner and whatnot. And I met some of the pros, but I feel like every year it's kind of like, well, who's coming back and who's not?
Right.
And so I had no idea who was going to be on this season because they kept both the pros and the celebs quiet until somebody leaked it or it got out somehow. Or it got out somehow. And so I just didn't even know who would be doing it.
Right. Yeah. What was your first rehearsal like with Alan? When you walked in and you had your first rehearsal, how was it?
I felt really shy because it's like, okay, here's your partner. It's so intimidating. And they're filming your very first steps. Yeah. And then you got to go do promos and they're asking you to dance. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. And how do I look? And I don't even know how I look anymore. Yeah. And I'm with a pro and all of it. I definitely felt as the season went on, and it really was for me the Wicked week, that I was like, oh, I can do this again. I got this. Yeah. I got it.
That's cool. Yeah, the Wicked week was everything.
It was a big episode. I think everybody was exhausted after that episode. It was so big because it was actually dictated by Universal. Well, Universal came in and was like, wow. So they were the ones who chose the songs for everyone. Yeah. So it was Universal who gave me Defying Gravity. And then they brought in the actual props, like I wore one of Cynthia Erivo's actual hats.
Wow.
I carried one, they have multiples of all these things, but one of her actual brooms from the movie. That's so cool. It was all in, so it was big.
Yeah, that's intense. That's, I feel like, high production.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. It's that show, they do it so big, but that's why it's so good. I love being in the audience too. Like just sitting there and seeing all the, when the commercial breaks happen and the leaf blowing with the confetti everywhere. Like it's just so funny to see all the chaos and then the calm.
Do you miss the dance? Because I already miss the dancing. I don't miss the pressure, but I already miss the dancing.
I miss it every day.
You do?
Yes, I think about it every day. And what's so funny is I had a dream last night that I was with Robert Irwin and that he was having a mental breakdown and that he was crying because he didn't know his identity after the show. And I was like, everybody goes through this. And I was rubbing his leg, telling him that everybody goes through this and that he will get through it. But I'm like, that's such a thing after you, like, it's your whole world for a long time.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's gone and you're like,
now what? I was really surprised. I did not have any anxiety dreams during the season. For the week after, every single night for a full week, I had I'm late for the show. Yeah. I missed rehearsal. I had those dreams.
Yeah. Because you were out of it. You weren't like, you knew what you were doing every week. And you're like, I'm not doing this anymore.
I know. My body was like, wait a minute. Wait, does not compute. What do I do?
I still have nightmares about forgetting dance. I have dreams that I'm doing a dance from when I was like 16 and that I have to go back out and do it. And I'm like, I don't remember the choreography. But those are the recurrent. And I was in the service industry in restaurants for 10 years. And I always have nightmares that I forget about tables and that everyone's mad at me and that's the whole thing.
Or you're in slow motion trying to get to the table and you can't.
Oh my gosh, that happens to me all the time.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp.
You know, the holidays are kind of like this weird little mix of joy and a little chaos. There are traditions that we love, ones that we kind of have to tolerate, and then maybe some we're just making up as we go. Like for me, personally, I love keeping up my grandma's family recipes, but I also like creating new little traditions, you know, like me dancing with Santa Claus, quote unquote dancing with Santa Claus. If you know my Instagram, you know. I've also realized that a really meaningful holiday tradition could actually be taking care of yourself. Now that's where BetterHelp comes in, because therapy during the holidays can and will give you the space to reflect, to find clarity, and even rewrite your own traditions in a way that feels good for you. Now BetterHelp matches you with licensed therapists in the US based on your needs and preferences. And if your match isn't right, you can switch anytime. And over 5 million people have trusted them, and their sessions get an average rating of, get a load of this, 4.9 out of 5. And they have a lot of ratings. So this December, start a new tradition for you. Take care of yourself. Off the Vine listeners, you're going to get 10% off at betterhelp.com/vine. That's betterhelp.com/vine. Okay, I'm going to brag for a little minute. I got these little like Italian leather tall kitten heel boots in espresso brown from Quince. I saw this whole thing from the stylist about how espresso colors, brown colors, all those things are so in right now, and it's the color of 2026. And these little booties are everything. They're perfect for all day wear, super comfy. The little kitten heel gives it just the right lift, and I love the sculpted square toe. I was not sure if I was sold on square toe, and I was looking around New York the other day. It's in, okay? It's a modern twist on a classic, timeless shape. So Quince has honestly become my go-to for not just me, but holiday gifts this year. They've got everything. They've got silk tops, they've got skirts, perfectly cut denim, cozy outerwear, and these boots. Every piece is made from premium materials, crafted ethically and designed to last. And the fit, the stitching, the details, it's all just, I would say, elevated and classy. And it's not just clothing either. Quince has gifts for home, bath, kitchen, travel, something literally for everyone on your list. And I also cannot help but pick out a little something for myself every single time. So find gifts so good that you'll want to keep them with Quince. Go to quince.com/vine for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/vine to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Again, quince.com/vine.
Do you feel like Dancing with the Stars gave you closure with dance, or did it reignite something in you that's like needed to be sparked again?
1000% reignited. Going to absolutely continue. I'm lucky in that I get to do the tour.
Yeah, that'll be so fun. The tour's so fun.
I can't wait. Like I wanted to do more, but I'm already doing other productions. And so I'm doing about 6 weeks of it.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And I'm really focused on theater right now, which is where I started.
Yes.
So I really feel like I'm going back to my roots.
Yeah.
It's all about that live performance for me, having that audience there. I got my sights on Broadway, and I want to be in this for a while. I'm ready.
Well, you can, and
Yeah.
you will.
Yeah.
I see it all for you.
Thank you.
I also love, like alongside your career, you've built a massive life around advocacy for animals. I was going to try on a dress for when I was on Dancing with the Stars, and they're like, oh, yeah, you could try that one on because Elaine can't wear feathers. And I was like, why? And then they told me, and I was like, cool. Oh, that's really, you are in it, and I love how committed you are to that.
Thank you.
You became vegan and deeply involved in animal rights in, was it 2006?
Around then, but I had been vegetarian actually since 1995.
Wow.
And then I started learning about animals in somewhere around in there, but I didn't become actually fully vegan until 2013.
Okay.
And I know that because I measure my life by like what production I was doing at that time.
Yeah.
And I was actually here in New York doing Off-Broadway, and it was that summer that I became vegan. Yeah, so Dancing with the Stars most productions are kind about it and thoughtful and considerate, because it's like as if somebody had an allergy or a religious, to me, it's the same. Yeah. It's my ethics. It's my morals, the way I guide my life. And so I did not wear any feathers. I did not wear any fur. And I also didn't wear leather. They got me vegan ballroom shoes.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad you probably wouldn't have done it if they were like, no.
Well, yeah.
It would have been tough.
It would have been tough, but and it's very rare. Like I can literally think back in my entire career, there was one job that described my character as wearing fur. And I had my managers call and they were like, no, she has to wear fur. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not doing that job. Wow. And then another job that I was recurring on a show. And the moment that they found out I wouldn't wear fur, well, they like wrapped my character up, and because it had the potential to keep going, but they're like, nope. And I'm like, And those are the only 2 issues I've ever had. Otherwise, everyone's been very kind.
Wow. And then you founded the Pet Matchmaker. I want to know about this, because what gap did you see that needed to be filled there?
Oh, and I'm actually not doing the Pet Matchmaker anymore, because I found, as you know, like it becomes such a full-time job. And while I had a small team to do it, it really needed me at the center point, and I just couldn't be there all the time. But I've sort of passed all the materials on, and that was really about everywhere I go. People are like, they're so open to wanting to learn about animals and what can I do? And so the Pet Matchmaker started very close at home with like people's companion pets and really making a connection starting there. So now, while the Pet Matchmaker is not a thing anymore, I literally work with organizations all over the world.
Yeah, you are active.
Yeah. And so that way, other people who it is their life, I can just support them.
You really do it all.
Thanks. I try. I definitely, but I'm not married. I don't have kids.
That's so in right now. I feel like that's so cool. Like I often have said, like, I could see myself just having me and my dogs and being very fulfilled in life. Like,
yeah. Well, listen, Lisa and Walter and I were building, and some of our other friends, we are building a tiny home community.
Yes!
So you can come be a part of our community.
That's actually my dream. Like, I love that idea so much. My girlfriends and I have talked about it. They're all married with kids, and they're like, where can we sign up? Like, that is amazing.
Yeah.
You're really doing that?
Yeah,
Can you say where or no?
No, we are like, we've been actively looking for land, and we keep batting back and forth of like where we actually want to be. We're pretty sure we want it to be here in the northeast, like probably maybe somewhere in New York, or maybe in the Catskills over in Pennsylvania. So yeah.
That is... Do you see how much I just lit up?
I did.
Like, that is everything.
You are welcome.
You don't say that, because I will show up. I will show up. These are just like fun, playful questions that I was just curious about. What role do people think they know you from, but it's actually wrong and you're too polite to correct them? Has that ever happened?
Oh, it used to, but it doesn't now. And I would have to sit here and think about the names of the movies. But yeah, it hasn't happened in a long time, because I think we always all like have our doppelgangers, right?
Yeah. Well, and there's so many, like, I am the worst at recognizing celebrities, and I just think there's somebody else. So I would probably be that person to do that. Okay, is there a line from a character you played that accidentally became part of your real personality?
I think definitely part of my personality is Lisa Luter. That's right, Christy. Keep telling yourself that.
Yes. Oh my God, that's amazing. If you had to survive a reality show today, which one would you dominate, and which one would destroy you?
Oh, Naked and Afraid would destroy me.
Yes.
I'm like, because I don't eat animals. So
Right.
like, what would I eat?
I
would eat nothing.
Yeah.
I would.
That would destroy you.
Yeah. I have paper thin skin.
Yeah.
So like I would be sizzled from the sun. That one. And then what would I dominate in? I don't know.
I could see you doing special forces.
You know, I talked about that with Alan, and he was like, no, that is so hardcore. And I'm like, really? He's like, if you got injured from the Argentine tango, I don't think you could do that. And I'm like, but I want to. Like, I
think you could do it.
I do too. Thank you.
I really do. I couldn't.
That's my affirmation. No, why do you say that?
No, the bathroom situation alone, I couldn't do. I am really like, I feel like I'm strong and I'm tough and I'm like mentally really strong, but bathroom situation, like you have to take rotations on bathroom duty, like cleaning up other people's stuff. And I'm like, that alone, I don't think I could do. I could do anything else but that.
Well, see, I work in animal rescue, so that's like nothing to me.
Yeah, you would dominate that show. You've got to do it. Okay, what's something about Hollywood that seems glamorous from the outside, but it's deeply unhinged behind the scenes?
Just Hollywood, period. Yeah. Like the whole thing.
Yeah, I hear that. Okay, and then I actually really like this question. What belief about yourself did you have to unlearn as you got older?
When I was younger, I was an only child, And I'm an only child, though I have step siblings who I'm really close with. And but by and large, I grew up by myself, and I always thought like that I had to be so tough and strong, and I had an idea of what strong looked like, and I had to make sure that people weren't going to take advantage of me, and I didn't trust anyone and all of that. And now, especially, I've learned how much strength there is in vulnerability. And it was like I was allergic to it. I wanted nothing to do with vulnerability. I wanted no one to see me cry. I wanted nothing. No, I had everything always together. And that kept me apart from so much in life, including myself. You know, it kept me apart from myself. Yeah. And so every year I'm just like, oh, like with Alan, I cried all the time, on camera, I cry. Now I cry all the time. I want to share it. Like, please let me be vulnerable. Please let me share this, because that's really that's the connective juice of life.
Yeah, I love that, the connective juice. I even said that on Dancing with the Stars, because same thing, I would cry all the time on that show. And people just know in general, if they follow me, I cry a lot on social media. And I always say, like, vulnerability creates connection. It just does. I mean, if you're doing it, of course, in not a performative way, it really does. And that's what I look for in people now too. But you say that, and it's so interesting, because I was so vulnerable in life and so soft, and I loved everyone. And now through my 30s, I feel like from going on reality TV and then getting somewhat involved in this world, not Hollywood, but like influencer, entertainment, social media, I'm now very much like, I was talking about this on another podcast, how I'm just in such a masculine era where I'm like, I could do everything by myself. Like, I need to soften again. And so maybe that's my next unlearning thing.
Yeah, maybe. But, it's like everyone's journey. Like, you were saying how you were a degenerate in your 20s. Like, I was so hyper put together.
Oh, wow.
And I was working at such a level, but I didn't understand any of it, and so I kind of crashed in my 30s because I feel like my 30s, even though I continued to work, I was functional, I was, all this, it was sort of a wasteland for me, because I had to reframe so much and I had to tear down so much. And then my 40s, I was like, I finally felt like I was starting to be actually in my skin. Yeah. Because as epic as my 20s were, I was so dissociated. From it. And then my 30s were just so hard of like learning that I was dissociated. And then I was finally like, oh, it's sort of like everything, the sand sort of settled in my 40s. And now in my 50s, I feel like I can ride it all. It's sort of like, oh,
what a journey.
Yeah, I'm really starting to understand it all, where it's like, oh, okay, I know what this is. Oh, I recognize that. Okay, I don't have to be so afraid of that. Oh, I can lean into that. I have far greater agency.
Wow.
Now, yeah.
It's so cool. I just love women like you and hearing these stories, because I grew up thinking aging was bad, but now I'm like, how silly. It's such a privilege, obviously. And you just get so much wiser and cooler and freer and all these things that make you more of who you are. And now women like you make me excited to hit the next milestone, because it's so much more than what I was conditioned to believe my whole life.
Not just you. I mean, it's culture,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Men get sexier when they get older.
Yes.
Women, become hags.
Yes, exactly.
No, you could not pay me to go back to my youth. Absolutely not.
I don't know how I survived my 20s. If I even told people real stories of what I was doing, I was a freak.
Well, you turned out okay.
Yeah, I did. I don't know how, but
pretty darn good.
It worked out. Okay, finish this sentence.
Okay.
The older I get, the less I care about
bullshit.
Perfect.
And so much is bullshit.
So much. It's okay. You know how when you are on social media, we used to be able to curate our own intake. So we could choose who we followed and we can choose what we saw. Now we don't have that control, and we're being fed everything. And how do you are you active on, are you a scroller? Are you a consumer? Like, what's your relationship with social media?
I wish that I was more of an outputter, you know, but I only really do that when I'm with other people, because it's just so hard for me by myself. I'm like, I don't understand the mechanisms, but when I'm with someone else, I can like brainstorm, oh, let's do this.
Right.
And so I consume a lot, but I do like to laugh on Threads is sort of my favorite, because I am Am I allowed to say the F word?
Yes.
I'm savage on Threads.
Really?
Yeah, I am. And
I love this.
because I'm savage back to like the bullies and the bots
Yes.
and the bigots and all the the horrible people.
Yeah.
And even though sometimes I know they're bots, I will still like most of the time
Your message can be cleared back.
well, I do that for other people.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I want people to know like I'm a protector.
Yeah.
And a lot of bots I will block and delete and all that, but yeah, Threads is sort of my jam.
Okay, well now I'm going to go find you on there because that seems right up my
Well,
alley.
you know what I love about Dancing with the Stars, because this was my first foray into reality television.
Yeah.
I know the narrative world, TV and film, so well, and I have so many friends, but I feel like reality has opened me up to so many people in social media and podcasts and all this. I'm getting to meet so many great people. Like, I can't wait to follow you and learn more
And live with me later.
Live with you later in our tiny home community.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All the animals. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah, that's it. It is such a. That's what it was beautiful, and it hurt me at the same time. Was opening up my world to that many people
Yeah,
in
I'm
this industry,
sure.
because I'm this little Canadian who I loved and trusted everybody, and then I was like, oh.
Yeah, not everybody's nice.
Yeah, but I
No.
think at this point in life you can kind of
Read
smell
through it.
it
Well,
out.
see, send your bullies to me.
I'm going to
drag them.
Oh, there's a lot of them. I've got haters galore out there. Okay, to wrap it up, I feel like you've just lived multiple lives inside of one career. It's amazing, and you've somehow remained so grounded and like a good, solid human. And I want to know what is most exciting for you right now, like acting, producing, theater. Like, what are you most excited about?
Yeah, performing live again. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I had already been setting that intention, so it's kind of not a surprise that dancing circled back to me.
Yeah.
But I want to be with audiences. I love connecting with fans. I love being out in the world. I love that instant energy exchange.
Yeah.
And I'm just so ready for it.
Oh, I love it. I just feel like you're in such a good spot, and you've worked so hard to get to where you are. And again, just remained, you could tell, like, you're just a grounded human. And that's cool.
Thanks. I have my moments.
Well,
listen,
duh.
I have my moments.
You're not a robot.
Yeah.
You're still a human.
But I work hard at being human. But
Yeah.
that's, to me, there's no, I really work to not compartmentalize my life. So it's like, how I am as a human is how I'm going to be on set, is how I am going to be in volunteering, is how, it's all, to me, one big soup, the soup of my life.
Yes.
And so I try.
It's chicken soup for the soul. That's your life.
Vegan chicken soup for the soul.
Right. What's the chicken that's it's like
Unchicken?
yeah, unchicken soup for the soul.
I love that.
You should write a book called that.
You know what? Maybe I will. You've heard it here first.
No, now you got to go buy the website and do all the things. Well, thank you so much for coming on the pod. Was there anything else that we
I
didn't
don't
touch
think
on?
so,
that you wanted?
Kaitlyn. That's
Okay.
your beautiful job. Thank you.
thank you.
It's such a delight to sit down with you.
It really was.
Yeah,
You
thank
started
you.
off my long day and your long day on the right foot.